But what I want to do is, I'll skip over some of the things, but I've been involved in the industry for over 50 years. It's been a great ride. I tell people, actually, sewage has been my bread and butter for 50 years, you know, which is, you know, people laugh at that, but it's true. I mean, years ago, people said, you're in the sewer industry. Today, it's like, oh, how did I get into the sewer industry? You know, it's grown tremendously. Robert and I have collaborated over the years. We started the rehab zone. He mentioned that, but it's 16 years since we started that. When you think about it, that's a long time. We had an idea back in 2002, you know, that it was going to be a year, 2 years, 3 years. Here we are 16 years later. And people still, my son-in-law actually, he said, you know, I've never been to the rehab zone. So he's going to get to go see the rehab zone. So it's, I really recommend you go see it. It's a great opportunity. It's a great way to learn what's happening in the industry, and you don't have a salesman, you know, beating on you. You can learn the technology from professionals. I think it's cool stuff. The other thing, you know, it's come to my attention and my focus in life for the last 10 years or so. And I retired 10 years ago. And then I became the technical director for NASCO, and so that got me really more involved, and I had started my own little consulting company. But what I've been focusing on, and the message I want to leave with you all, is I've been focusing on educating the industry, okay? I mean, we can talk about a lot of things that are necessary in the industry, but I felt really that as we grew into a multi-billion-dollar industry, there was too much word of mouth where somebody told somebody else this is how you should do it, and somebody else told the third person. And by the time the fifth person got there, it's like, what am I really doing? You know, you didn't understand. So training became very, very important to me. I think we accomplished that through the rehab zone. Lots of people began to understand the technologies. There are a number of other programs out there. We developed some inspector training programs, the PSCP program, Pipeline System Certification through NASCO. NASCT has developed the Good Practices courses. Curie has developed the inspector and training courses, which I participate in every year. But it's just the tip of the iceberg, okay? We haven't reached a point where we really can educate. We haven't addressed, for instance, applicators and installers and contractors. I trained some people down in Florida, maybe a year or two ago, and one of the guys that was in my class, he said to me, you know, Jerry, I've been inspecting cured-in-place pipe for 25 years for Miami-Dade. Nobody has ever taught me anything. It's just been simply word of mouth. And he said to me, I really appreciate hearing about it through an organized training program, okay? So, the other thing I want to leave you with is, when you get this gray hair, and you have a lot of information and a lot of experience and a lot of field experience, you don't want to just pack it all up and retire somewhere, all right? And I strongly, I'll give you an example from my experience. I retired 10 years ago, but the draw of this industry and the fact that, you know, that education was needed and there was an opportunity for me to give back was so important to me. And if I leave you with nothing else, I leave you with that thought. Before you retire, everybody I know that's retired, and I formerly lived in a retirement community. I moved out of it because I couldn't handle all the retirees anymore. Okay, but you don't. Your mind doesn't continue being sharp. Okay, you got to stay in the industry, even if you do it part time. But the thing I do want to leave you with is make sure you give back some of your information, some of your experiences, and some of your training that you can give either through mentoring or training. Pick somebody in the industry that you can work with and mentor and get them educated and get them your information before you leave. So with that, again, I really I want to thank the UCTA for this honor. I appreciate it immensely, and thank you all, and hopefully you will take my advice and don't just leave the industry. It's a great industry, lots of friends, lots of good people to stay connected with. Thank you.
Are you in the room?